I'm just gonna go live for a few minutes, and I'll probably be going in and out and back and forth. We'll see what happens. So here we are. It's adult supervision. Hey, here we are, Cactus Park. Going live today. This is really cool. How you doing? It was easy morning. Hey everybody. How you doing? Is this you guys are you like medieval times?
More or less. Sort of.
Wow, nice.
We're actually, we've got an event that's supposed to be starting at about 11 or 10:30, something like that.
Do you mind if I record? This is nice. It's a nice get up. Okay, but that's fine.
Sure. No, that's fine. What's it for? Just private?
Oh, no, this is YouTube. I'm live.
Oh, yeah. No,
Nice.
This is actually called the Realms of History, and we're actually there's a few of us that are just now arriving.
Okay.
Realms of History is a nationwide nonprofit educational group. We teach about medieval and Renaissance history.
Good. Oh, God knows we need to learn about that. People are so like misinformed, uninformed.
Yeah, everything they believe came out of Hollywood.
Oh, I know. It's just totally nonsense.
Which is nasty.
Oh, brother.
So wrong, so wrong.
Are you like specific characters or historical figures?
Well, we don't necessarily, we recreate the romanticized ideals of the medieval and Renaissance history, so
Okay.
it's not really LARPing, it's not a live action role play.
Okay.
We're recreating the
Got it.
atmosphere. So are we recreating specific characters? No, but I can tell you that, like for example, what I'm wearing, this is a 15th century German Landsknecht, which is actually a 15th century German mercenaries.
Okay.
They wore a lot of clothing that was slashed, big puff, like the underlayers were very thin and kind of poofed out of the slashes here. And then they usually wore very wide-brimmed hats called
Okay.
helleberets that had feathers all over the place.
Right.
They were some of the most vicious mercenaries.
Wow.
I think.
And what are you dressed
Osborne
as?
is actually more medieval here.
Yeah, this is closer to the year 1066.
Okay. William the Conqueror.
Yep, the Norman look. There's other stuff that goes with it, but just for our monthly meeting,
Okay.
we just design stuff like that. But it's the same thing, like I said, we take history, and a lot of people will look at something, for instance, like you look at the movie Braveheart,
Mm-hmm.
and in one of the scenes he's wearing a kilt. Well, then you take a look and find out when the kilt was designed and when the fight that he had at Sterling Bridge with Longshanks happened.
Right.
We're talking centuries in between.
Really?
So Hollywood has really messed things up.
So you mean the kilt is more of a modern thing?
Yes, 1700s.
Yeah, 1700s.
Really?
So it's really messed up with Hollywood and what they do. And it's the same thing like with William the Conqueror. You know, people look at different stuff of what really happened. He was Duke of Normandy when he came across. If people read the history on it, it was so convoluted because some of the Norsemen up north figured that he should be the king, and then one of them said he should be the king, and Harold Godwinson's brother Tostig thought, well, somebody else ought to be, and it's so interesting just to read the actual things that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And but if you do take a look at some of these things, that battle lasted almost a whole day, and quite frankly, William the Conqueror just about lost the battle.
Oh, really?
Yes, and if it wasn't for the fact that Godwinson had mercenaries that were German
Mm-hmm.
on his side.
But like earlier, because you're 1500s.
Way earlier. This is
Yeah.
the 1500s.
Yeah,
Way
and
earlier.
if he would have had mercenaries on his side,
Yeah.
well, so did William. William had expatriated Cornishmen
Mm-hmm.
on his side.
Right.
Well, they were on a certain flank.
Right.
Well, somebody said, and this is, again, history is not too clear on this, somebody said that William's dead. So the mercenaries started to retreat. But then they turned and fought because the Germans went after them. And this left a gap open up there. Now, was this real or was it a ruse? Because he came up and he says, I'm not dead, and he took his cavalry and cut them off and literally massacred 3,000 to 5,000. They're not sure about it. And of course, this
A lot of people.
Godwinson had to close his ranks,
Mm-hmm.
and then William did something that had been done in history, but movies show it happening all the time. But it didn't happen all the time. But he knew that Alexander the Great had tried it, and it worked.
What was that?
Alexander the Great, centuries before, had done something similar, and it worked. So what he did is, instead of, because when they shot a bow and arrow, they didn't shoot wildly, they shot at a target.
Yeah.
And they're very good marksmen. Well, what he did is, utilizing ingenuity and knowing how to fight, because he was a fantastic statistician, almost like Napoleon, shot up into the air, and it came down on top of them, because the Saxons, of course, had the round shield and everything, so they had to stand and put up a shield wall. Well, we know that Harold Godwinson died from an arrow in the eye.
Ah.
Did he die on the battlefield, or did some people say they took him away? You have to really read the history. And the books that I have on it.
Oh, and they're all set up too. Look at that.
Directly,
Oh, wonderful.
Directly from England. They didn't. They weren't something like I bought at a store here.
Beautiful.
And this is
Hello.
the princess.
Wonderful.
But yeah, it's sweet. They just came back from a school where they stayed for 3 days camping out, and that's what they do.
Learning about medieval history.
What we do is we'll teach, and like I say, since mine was the Norman time, that's what I use, and that's what I teach, is the time with William the Conqueror.
Is that what's the seal?
Oh, this is just nonsensical. It's just something I wear.
Okay. It looks like the Welsh. Well, it has like a hawk, doesn't it? Yeah, it's not a Welsh.
It's a griffin.
Griffin, that's the term. There we go.
Griffin, but it's,
Got it. You got the
it's just
swords and everything.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Because we do actual combat.
Do you mind if I? This is beautiful. Do you mind if I record it briefly? Beautiful. We're just this is a YouTube live, and I just came over and said hi, and I just saw the costumes and everything. It's like, wow, this is cool. So,
We don't call these costumes.
what do you call
them? Garb.
Garb. Okay.
They're not costumes, they're actually period clothing.
Garb. Okay.
Yes, so it's garb or period clothing. Most people that do the type of stuff that we do, it's regular clothing.
Okay.
We all have wardrobes.
This cloth, everything. This is exactly what they wore.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
As close to as we can possibly get.
Got it.
Sometimes it's rather hard to get period cloth.
Oh, no kidding.
It's really expensive, and I'm rather thrifty, so I search. When I find something, I buy a lot of it.
And do you guys do the? So you go to public schools and do
Yes,
events like that?
We do school demos.
Okay.
We go and do the smaller fairs, not the big one out here.
Okay.
Because we're nonprofit, we don't get paid for it unless somebody gives us donations. And the people out there, most of them get paid for what they're doing.
Yes.
Ours is a donation type thing, so we volunteer. We do school demos. We do hands-on history teaching.
Okay.
The men, like my son and my sons and some other people in the group, they do sword fighting in full armor, and they let the kids feel the armor afterwards. They tell the kids who made it, what it was made of, what country it was from, and
Are those
how heavy it
authentic?
is.
The armor that these are.
As close to as possible.
Got it.
And then
There's some chainmail.
thank you. We teach them all kinds of crafts, show them archery and whatnot. So it's that's how we keep our nonprofit status. We're more or less teachers.
Got it. Wonderful. Nice to meet all of you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much. So this was really cool. So they're having an event going into Renaissance history. So I just wanted to show that to everybody. All right, folks, I'm gonna have to change the title on this. It isn't exactly the movement, but I'll get in touch with, we'll have something soon coming up. All right, see ya.